It would be impossible to name one thing that I love the most about my baby girl. As her daddy, it's countless. But if I had to say one, it would be without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, her heart. She had the biggest heart, the most compassion. She was so forgiving, and she loved unconditionally. But most of all, she loved Jesus more than anything in this world. I'm so proud of you, baby girl.
What I love about Raven, between her and I specifically, is when we would go to public bathrooms, she would pick the very smallest stall that they had, cram us both in there, and then she would clean the seat, immaculate. And then she would tell me she was letting me go first. And in these public bathroom visits, she would tell me all of her secrets.
One of my favorite things about Raven is I was Miss Brooke from day one. Even when I became her bonus mommy, I was still her Miss Brooke.
Raven is courageously curious. She had plenty of fear, but she never allowed that to stop her from finding new things, meeting new people. That's what I love most about her.
One of my cherished memories with Raven was Sunday nights when they would be ready to leave my house. Shane would say, "Raven, go tell your papa I give hug and kisses." She would immediately withdraw her hands in and come up and look at me and say, "Papa, do you think you need to check my oil?" So I would start tickling her and she'd laugh until she had tears coming in her eyes and holler, "I'm full, Papa, I'm full." Between Brecken and my grandson and Raven, they're two shining stars.
My favorite thing about Raven is when we first see each other. She runs up to me, she pokes me, she says, "Hi, Granny," and I act like I can't see her, and I say, "Where's Raven?" And then when we do make eye contact, she jumps into my arms and we jump up and down. We're so excited every time to see each other. So until next time, where's Raven?
Great big smile on her face. And I would always say, "Hi, baby, how was your day?" And she said, "Nana, I got a secret." I said, "Okay." So she got in and she said, "But Nana, you can't tell my daddy. You just can't tell my daddy." And I said, okay. But if it's something really, really important, you know Nana's got to tell Daddy." And she said, "Well, Nana, it's important to me." I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay, what's your news for Nana?" She said, "I got a boyfriend today." She said, "Nana." So I turned around and I looked at her and she went.
The thing I liked about Raven was when she wanted something, she knew how to get it. All she said was those two magical words, "Papa, please." How could you resist?
The thing about Raven, she was loving and caring.
My favorite memory of Raven is we were here at the house at the trampoline. And we jumped. She's like, "Jump with me, Paul, jump with me." And so I held her and I jumped on this trampoline holding that girl until I swear I was having a heart attack. I mean, having a heart attack. And I said, "Raven, I have to lay down. I can't do it anymore." And I laid down and she said, "That's okay. I'll bounce you." So she's bouncing me as I feel like I'm having a heart attack. And we are laughing out loud. And such a lovely memory.
My favorite thing about Raven is playing with her and how nice she was.
One of my favorite memories of Raven is when she came over to the house. We played on the trampoline and she would not let up. She wanted me to jump and jump and jump until I was so exhausted. She loved being on the swing and pushed. But one of the sweetest things that she's ever told me was, she goes, "Gigi," she goes, "you have the sweetest voice." And I was like, "Really?" Anyways, she was a beautiful grandbaby and I love her and miss her.
One of the many things that I will take with me for the rest of my life from my niece was her faith. She loved Jesus so much. She loved Jesus more than anything in this world. And no matter where she went, who she talked to, who she saw, she shared that love. And she's continuing to share that love. And I'm so proud to be called Uncle Dusty. I love you, baby girl.
I love Raven's heart, and I love it, and I love playing with her.
My favorite thing about Raven is that every time she would get in my car, I'd buckle her up in her car seat, I would go and start the car, and as soon as the radio would turn on, she'd say, "Mary Ellen, can you please turn on Hair Up from Trolls?" And when I would look back there, she'd already have her hair in the air. So of course I put on Trolls, and we sang over and over and over again, Hair Up, with our hair literally up.
Every time she was with her daddy, she would run through my house and say, "I'm going to jump on the trampoline, Jenny." And every time it was time to go, she'd beg for an extra 5 minutes. And wrestling with her. She loved to wrestle with me. That's what I'm gonna miss the most.
My favorite thing about Raven is her goofiness and how she always kept the family laughing.
My favorite memory with Raven is the day I got to walk River and Raven halfway down the aisle to Shane when he married my best friend. That was a good day. That was a happy day.
My favorite thing about Raven would be her high energy, whether it be when she first showed up at our house and she gave us a big hug when she saw us, or when she wanted to jump off the diving board countless times, or go find the quarter in the bottom of the pool.
One of the wonderful memories, well, it was multiple times, Raven used to tease me a lot. I really loved that about her. And she'd run up to me, say in church, and she'd kind of hit me from behind. I'd turn around, then she'd start kicking me in my shins. And she'd be like, Greg, Greg. And I'd be like, look at me. Big old blue eyes and her cute smile. I love that. Never forget it. I always enjoyed that thoroughly.
My favorite thing about Raven is the kindness in her heart. If she feels like you want something or that you would like to have it, she will give it to you.
I think my favorite memory of me and Raven has to be anytime I was over at Dad's house, she'd always peek her little head in. If I was laying down watching TV or something, and she'd be like, Elena? And I'd be like, yeah. She'd be like, do you want to play Barbies with me? And I'd be like, sure. And she'd bring her whole set of Barbies and her little Barbie house and everything she had.
It's hard to put this in one video, but my favorite moment I had with Raven was when we were playing hide-and-go-seek with her silly putty in her room. After about 15 minutes of her looking for it all around her room, tearing it up, I finally told her it was on the back of my hat. And all she said was, oh, Bubba, you're so silly.
A memory that I shared with Raven was playing checkers before dinner. On our family dinner nights, she only taught me her way to play, which meant she was the only one that was going to win, and I always lost.
So my favorite memory with my niece is at her first birthday party. And in all the pictures that we see on Facebook, she's looking somewhere else. She's looking at her mama, she's looking at her aunt, her granny. But this moment, she's looking right at me and smiling, the biggest smile, right at me. And that I'm gonna get to hold on to for a very long time.
My favorite thing about Raven is that she was a friend to all. She never met somebody that she couldn't connect with.
My favorite thing about Raven is that she always had a smile on her face, and there was never a moment that I saw her down.
My favorite thing about Raven has to be her love and energy, and the fact that there's so much. She would wake me up in the morning with that awful morning breath and just want to hang out. Even if I'm not interested or I'm trying to push her away and go back to bed, she just wanted to be with you and love on you.
As her bonus grandma, I wasn't quite sure how to be around Raven. She's such a gentle soul, and I'm quite the brazen person. But she grabbed a book and came up and said, Grandma, read me a book, and snuggled up against me and held my arm around her. And that was our first bond.
We are beyond blessed to have had little Raven as part of our family. We were lucky enough to spend the new year with her this year. It was amazing how close she got to people she just met. Chance, Elena, and I We're proud to have the opportunity to be a part of Raven's inner circle. We will always love and cherish the time we shared with her. Love you, Raven.
My favorite thing about Raven is her personality and her ability to love. She could light up a room as soon as she walked in, and that's why she had 21 best friends this school year, and 22 including me. Love Raven forever.